Obviously, we've been pretty busy, and Paul was the first of 3 guys that we signed over the last 24 hours, and it's been pretty hectic. We're really happy, obviously, and you guys will see 2 linemen here coming in shortly, and we're obviously really happy to upgrade that area. And Paul's a really interesting signing too. So we've been very fortunate to get some things done, and we're pretty happy.
Was this priority over popularity for you guys?
We were doing whatever's best for the team, so I'm not sure about popularity, but we're just trying to make our team better.
How is it better with these 2 offensive linemen?
Well, I think they're in their positions. They're probably one of the top echelon of the league. I think Dominic has played really well over the course of the last few years at center, and I think Brendan's career speaks for itself. So I don't think it takes a genius to figure out it's a pretty big upgrade.
Was this a difficult negotiation with Brendan, or, as we were led to believe, he wanted to be here?
Yeah, it was difficult. There was a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and he had some visitors in Weyburn, and we had to do our thing, and it took a while. And I do want to thank Gil Scott and Tim Fleiser. They were very helpful through this process to assist us to get this done.
Do you believe all the talk about the contract for LaBatte particularly, and perhaps what Picard's getting? What are your thoughts about these kind of salaries for offensive linemen?
I'm not sure what that talk is, but I think the moves of the last 2 months can dictate how we work our salary cap here. So I don't really care what people think or what they want to rumor, but we can afford it and we're going to do it.
What do you think of another general manager pretty well putting it on the line that how much money you put on the table for a player?
It's his opinion. The facts are the facts. Some guys have all situations to sign with us, and one guy's from Weyburn. That's his home. He wants to play for the Riders. I'm not going to speak for him. He's going to tell you that. Paul Woldu is obviously a Regina kid, and Dominic Picard has a pretty good relationship with a lot of people here. So sometimes money isn't necessarily the whole thing.
Is that a conscious effort to go out and get Saskatchewan-born guys, or has it just happened that way, or is it just easier? Or
well, I think our goal is to get good football players, and it just happens to be in this case 2 of them are from Saskatchewan, and 1 comes from a hotbed in Quebec. So it really doesn't matter where they come from, but in this case it does help, and there's no doubt Brendan being from Weyburn did help that situation for sure.
What happens to the offensive line now with Gene Mikowski? That's the big one of the big questions.
Gene's still going through the process. I've talked to him this morning, and we're just going to get as many as we can and see where they fall and see where they end up playing. But Gene's still part of this team, and we'll see where that goes in the next few days.
Do you factor in his salary in terms of free agency? Did you ask him to sort of make a decision, or has he made that decision? You're just not telling us? Or?
No, everything's done with the salary cap in mind, and we have a plan, and it'll get executed.
But if Gene's salary is still on the table,
we'll make it work.
If Best and LaBatte are the guards, at Picard's the center, where is there a spot for Gino?
I'm not the coach. No, me and Corey have talked about that at length. We'll see where it's February right now, and we're not into camp yet, but there's a lot of combinations on the board right now, and we got some pretty good line depth, and there's Dan Clark, Krosnick Groh, a lot of young guys still, so we'll figure it out.
Did you ever foresee the day where you'd be spending this kind of money on an offensive lineman?
Yeah, because they're very important, and the way the salaries go in this league, it's just the natural progression of how this works. So these guys have earned it, they deserve it, and it's the old supply and demand theory. There's not a lot of Canadian offensive linemen out there, as you guys know. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Does Jim Hobson wish he were born about 40 years later?
I can't comment on that.
Was this the plan all along, or was this dictated by Andy kind of dragging his feet?
No, we prioritized like the top 6 guys we wanted to go after, and there was a couple of guys that didn't get available to us, and we just tried to target the guys that were still available, and Andy's still one of them, obviously, and we're not giving up on that either, so we'll see where that goes. But no, our plan's been pretty much executed the way we thought it would work out.
We're hearing a decision from him pretty soon. Have you heard anything from him at all?
Well, I have breakfast with one of his representatives today, so I know there's this time frame that's been thrown out there, but we're still in communication. There's not a time frame that I know of a deadline, but I know that was bandied about, but there's still discussions going on.
Is the original offer for him still on the table, or does that have to be taken off the table now because of these 2 signings here?
Our plan changes by the minute, to be honest with you, but we're going to still be aggressive and do what we can to get Andy back.